Welcome back. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest, Dr. Mostafa Naggary, the Vice President of the Exporters Association. It's a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Now, let me start by asking you, what are the most important reasons behind the rise in Egyptian exports to Russia?
Well, I can tell that according to the traditional history of exports, especially for the agri sector and the food industry, we might see that Russia was consisting something like 25% of the total exports of the agri sector of Egypt. But according to the Russian-Ukrainian war, we have faced for 1 month, which started by 23rd of February until maybe 20th of March, there was big obstacles in the transportation and, of course, paying back the invoices of the exporters. So, but and this was according to the sanctions, which was affected by the European Union. As we know that at least 4 or 5 shipping lines who are serving from Egypt to Russia are European shipping lines. So, there was a lack of space on the remaining 2 shipping lines, which they are not owned to the European Union, and it was really difficult to for the first month to try to load all the demand of
but
the
after this,
but
after this, Doctor, yes, we've seen exports on the rise, even with the current situation, not just to Russia, but the whole world. And as a result of Egypt's unique positioning and location, how does, the Egyptian location really affect its export capabilities?
As you know, that there was global, supply chain problems everywhere, and Egypt was one of the countries really that tried to break these obstacles and tried to find always alternatives or new shipping lines to serve. And this, according to the facilities which the Egyptian ports are giving to some other shipping lines. And I can tell that the value of the exports have increased. But that doesn't mean certainly that the quantities have increased. But as we know that the shipping lines were charging for the reefer container $3,000 before February 2020. But now they are charging $6,000 according to the high price of the bankers, and also about the high insurance war risk. So at the end, the value of the commodity itself also have increased. So and if we look to the statistics, if we look to the statistics, that really we have something like $9.1 billion of total exports from Egypt in the first quarter of 2020.
Right, and Doctor, what does this mean? Yes, what does this mean, Doctor, with regards to, trade exchange, the balance of trade with imports and exports, and what does this, the increase of Egyptian exports worldwide mean for our foreign, foreign currency in Egypt, and for the balance of trade, which is very important to try and always up the exports more than the imports coming into the country?
As for the last week, there was in St. Petersburg, there was economic reform, and the Minister of Trade and Industry, the Egyptian Minister of Trade and Industry was there in St. Petersburg, and these subjects were raised. So from the opinion of the Russian side, they want to go for the national currencies, which we call it the currency swap, between the ruble and the Egyptian pound. On the other side, the Egyptian side is looking for the balanced trade agreement.
Of course.
And we have in the Egyptian Business Association, we have raised our paper about the technicality and about the process, how it should go. So I think that these discussions are still on the table. At the end, both countries, they need to trade together, and they are just looking for
common ground,
for the keyword to start the debate.
Absolutely. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Mostafa Naggary, Vice President of the Exporters Association. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And ladies and gentlemen, another short break, and we'll be back for more. Do stay tuned.